And that's sports.
Bill Cody in the morning, WSM. This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Hey, welcome to our world. It is the Simply Superior Acuff House Studio on the Grand Ole Opry Plaza, where the Crowe Boys are going to be debuting at the Grand Ole Opry tonight and coming to see us from the Assembly Food Hall stage here in just a little bit. Continuing to catch up on 2025 CMA Fest news. Kelly Sutton, Charlie, people are still talking about it. In and of herself, a half acre of dancing and romancing all week long last week. It was amazing.
Did you see the traffic jam going to the airport yesterday? People were walking.
Were they
To
really?
the airport?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh.
Yeah. So stay an extra day next year. Leave on Tuesday.
I would not walk on the interstate.
I think they were walking from like the entrance ramp and like up the access road.
Well, no, nothing could go wrong there.
Well, it's
on the entrance ramp.
I mean, that whole area right now is so torn up, and I know it's progress, and I know that we have this big, beautiful new terminal, and there's a hotel and all the things, but it's a mess. When you get out there and you try to park, I've flown several times already this year. Woo! Yeah.
Well, and the whole Donaldson Pike interchange just beyond the airport entrance is being redone.
Yeah, we should.
They're just about through with that,
really
though.
work on everything over there all at one time.
And we're building a stadium downtown.
Sure. And that's where we had CMA Fest. We were like, okay, go to where the barricade says you cannot go, and that's where you're going to make a U-turn, and then you're going to turn right into the parking lot that's no longer there. I'm telling you, it was quite the adventure to get over to the stadium shows this year, but it was super fun, and we had a great time, and everybody survived, so it was good things. Everybody's flying home today. If they didn't fly home yesterday, or maybe they thought they were flying home yesterday, and they're now just flying home today.
They're just going to walk home. Do it the old-fashioned way.
They can't stay because we are full.
We're going to walk to Salt Lake.
We're happy you came, and thank you for spending your money, but it's time for y'all to go home now. Yeah. So we got to let you go
to
back.
Bonnaroo.
Go to Bonnaroo. Yeah. Oh, I did see, it was a great meme. Somebody was like standing there and they were like, okay, bye, have a good time. And the person is leaving and they turn around, there's someone standing there. And it was like, Bonnaroo traffic. So yeah, that's what's next. Coming up, we have a lot to talk about. A documentary with Dolly talking about how we got Dollywood, how it all came together. I'll tell you where you can find that. The Barbaras are flocking to Old Dominion concerts, and I'm here for it. Plus, Americana Fest and Americana Awards and Honors. They're going to be announcing the nominees today at noon, and you can watch it live. I'll tell you where.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
And the Crowe Boys are on the Assembly Food Hall stage. We've got Wes and Osi in studio with us this morning as they debut in just a few hours. Because of television lighting, we had to pull the blinds. But if we raised the blinds, you'd be looking right at the entrance, audience entrance to the Grand Ole Opry House.
Heck yeah.
But you passed the artist entrance on your way to our studio this morning.
Right.
Is that your first time back there?
We got to come hang out about a month ago and tour the place, and it was really cool. We got to watch the show and see all the stuff backstage and how it functions. It was very inspiring.
Were we well behaved that particular night?
Absolutely not.
Great. Perfect. We didn't want to give you a false impression. We didn't want you to think it was going to be fun.
I often quote Dr. Charles Wolf's book. You know, he was a great historian of the Opry and country music, was at MTSU. His book was called A Good-Natured Riot, the history of the Grand Ole Opry.
Cool. Well, you know, it's interesting, too. I mean, it is the world's longest running radio show, right?
Yeah.
100 years we're celebrating all year long of the radio station and the Opry. But I swear there's like a third of the crowd out there that when they're watching it, they're like, they read like commercials. We didn't know it was a radio show.
Yeah.
We thought it was a concert, you know?
Yeah, sure.
So I love the chaos of it all. I think that's the kind of like a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, it's a unique experience.
So who was there the night you guys went?
Oh, man. I do not remember.
It could be overwhelming.
I know our friend Chapel Hart was there.
Well, they light up the room.
Yeah, they're from like the same place. We actually it was really a really special moment too, because the same venue that they started out in, the person that owns that venue just had passed not too long ago. But it's just like such a meaningful moment to like be able to see them and to just have this moment of like, wow, there's the same person that gave us our shot in New Orleans around the same time that he gave y'all a shot before we, have both kind of made it in our own ways. And so it was cool to have an intimate moment with them.
Because you guys are Louisianans and they're from Mississippi.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but we all play in New Orleans together.
How about
So what
that?
venue was it?
It was called D-Max.
Okay.
Yeah, D-Max Bar and Grill. It's not there anymore.
Wow.
But such a iconic spot.
So did you guys ever do busking on Royal or in front of like
No.
Jackson Square or anything?
No,
Because
not
man, I've
really.
heard some amazing people just
Yeah.
wandering around.
No,
you know?
there's definitely some cool people to catch busking. We never got into it. I think also is just difficult. A difficult scene. But no, never got to busk.
Just sword swallowing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Juggling.
No,
all the
more
things.
so like flame throwing.
Yeah,
That's
there you go.
perfect.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that make the big money.
Both. I've seen both at Jackson Square.
It's amazing when you look in their tip jars. You're like, well, yeah, they're making good money doing this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
they
guys
are.
like grew up in an RV for a while,
Yeah,
right? You
sure
were
did.
traveling around.
Whole life actually, not a while, like the whole time.
When we talk about like what was this spans? Where were you guys traveling? Was it primarily southeast or was it
Yeah,
all
mostly
over?
the South.
Okay.
Mostly the South. We grew up. Our family did gospel music, and our dad would speak at conferences, and our mom would also speak at conferences, just like different events and different churches. And we just traveled playing music, and then we came off the road for a short amount of time, and then went back on the road and did that until we moved to New Orleans, which I think is definitely the longest either of us has lived in one place, and it's become home. You know, it's where all the most important things have happened in our lives.
Is it
And,
still home?
Yeah, it's still where we're at.
This is interesting. I'll have to pick your brain when we're all done because the one thing my wife and I have always feared is that if we moved there, everything we loved about it would suddenly it wouldn't be quite as charming as it is just going to visit 3 or 4 times a year, you know? Because I
Maybe.
mean, like a lot of cities, it's got flaws. You know,
Yeah.
they're far from perfect.
For sure.
But the things I love, I just love so much about it. Yeah, interesting.
You've been how many times now?
I think 35.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
how you
Yeah.
just keep that number in your brain.
Yeah. Well, next time will be 36. It's really not that hard.
Like I'm counting. I've been keeping tabs.
So, OC, give me the history of that name. OCIE.
Yeah, I have no idea. I know it means woman of valor. I don't know why we
love
decided
that.
to keep naming all the men in our family that, but it's cool. I'm with it. you
Wes,
know?
how does Wes translate?
Well, it's technically my middle name.
Oh, it is. All right. What's your first name?
We don't have to talk
We
about
don't have
that.
to talk about that.
You're not going to tell us. Okay.
I love that.
I saw where Pride, Louisiana was considered your hometown, your birthplace, maybe?
Yeah, kind
Or-
of. So we were born in Baton
Back
Rouge,
in
but
Ta-
Pride
okay.
is really close.
Yeah.
So before we left, we've been on the road since we were like 3, 4, 5 years old when we left. But we were born in Baton Rouge, and our family grew up in Pride, Louisiana. A lot of our family is still there, and so that's where we lived. That's where our grandparents still live, but that's where our birth mom is from, and she passed away while we were on the road, which is a big part of our story. It's also a big like influence into why we got into music and what the reason is behind like this record and like what we do as artists, kind of spurred from that moment.
Because the band dissolved after your mother's passing, as I understand it.
No.
Then you moved to New Orleans?
So she passed away in 2009, and then
Unexpectedly?
No, we kind of knew. She had been battling cancer for a long time.
Oh,
wow. And she passed away, and then we came off the road for a short amount of time, and our dad remarried, and we took some time to just figure out family and what things were going to look like, and we went back on the road as a blended family. And when I was 17, that's when I left and moved to New Orleans, and then he, about the same age, left whenever he got to that point. But yeah, no, we did the whole blended family thing, but that's really, like, I remember going through that experience, and I think music became less of something that we just did because our family did it, and it became like a really integral part of our life and our brotherhood. It was just our way of not only coping, but also just navigating our minds and our hearts, and getting things out. And honestly, a lot of our record is what came out of that. So, yeah.
I saw that Pride, Louisiana is the home of Donna Douglas, who played Ellie Mae Clampett
I had no idea.
on the Beverly Hillbillies.
I had
Knowing
no
you guys
idea.
were coming, I was looking that up. I was like,
Honestly, I had no idea.
small world moment that is.
That's cool, though.
I I had a chance to see you guys during Country Radio Seminar. You played on the Ryman stage for the luncheon.
Yeah.
And there was a Beatle there. We had Ringo. And I'm thinking, okay, which was more intimidating, playing on stage with the Ryman or possibly running into Ringo Starr?
Okay, so everybody was talking about how Parker was like, I came on stage. Well, okay, so Parker said that. He like shook Ringo's hand, and Ringo was like, I'm probably not going to remember your name. Well, then I went to go dap him up.
Oh.
And I was like, hey, how's it going? I'm OC. And he totally didn't see me, and he turned around, and everybody in there was just like, and I was like, I just kind of like air dapped, and everybody just died laughing, and I was like, well, I just got left hanging by the Beatle, like the one left. I was like, oh my gosh.
I hope there's a photographic still of that moment.
Maybe. I have no idea. And I was just like, what do I do? Like,
You
I don't
just
know
turned
what to
around and
do
walked.
now.
Was it before you played or after?
It was before.
That makes it worse.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
You know,
bless.
it's almost a better story now. Than,
Yeah.
I mean, truly.
Well, I will say you guys crushed it. I mean, you walked out, and that is the most.
We had a blast.
It's intimidating because one, it's the Ryman, but two, the entire place is full of industry people.
Yeah.
So half of them are sitting there with their arms crossed, like, oh, who are these guys? But to have to win that crowd over, and you did. And
We had
by,
fun.
By
Honestly,
the
we were just
time
having fun.
you walked off stage, people were standing. They were giving you a standing ovation. You just crushed it. So
Thank you.
congratulations.
You were in your element. You were in an old church house.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, like it was growing
it
up.
did. It felt good.
Made to Wonder is the new album, the debut album. Wherever you get your music, it's available there. And on Coffee, Country, and Cody with the Crowe Brothers. Or the Crowe Girls?
Crowe Boys.
Crowe
The Crowe
I said
Girls.
Crowe.
That's it.
Yeah, are there Crowe Girls? They're Crowe Boys. Are
There's one. She's our youngest sister. But there's actually 6 of us all together. There's 5 boys, and the youngest is a girl. So she's the only Crowe girl. And the rest of us are the Crowe Boys.
Wes and Ossie, the Crowe Boys, are on Coffee, Country, and Cody all over the world on Circle Country Television.
Manager.
More Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSM.
Hey, more with the Crowe Boys here on Coffee, Country, and Cody from the Assembly Food Hall stage. That's where they are. And the wood from the Assembly Food Hall stage is circa 1950 Ryman Auditorium, and the same wood that the circle that you will debut in tonight at the Opry House comes from.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are you feeling a little something over
I'm
there?
feeling a little
Feeling
something.
A little magic in that wood. When you did the tour, did you step in the circle? Or
Did not.
Okay, good.
No. I was like, you know what? One day. And then they were like, you want to come play? And we were like, all right, that day.
That's the day. Make sure that you make room for both of you in the circle, because
yeah.
a lot of times, like our
absolutely.
friends in Warren Treaty, Michael Trotter goes, I'm always playing keys and I never got to play in the circle. He's like, I'm over here.
We'll just switch out, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Make
Move
sure you
around
get
a
a little
bit.
time in there.
And
That's right.
Kelly will be hosting and welcoming you tonight for your debut. How rich or what knowledge do you have of the Opry as Southerners growing up? I mean, is it something you're well aware of? Just
I know
how
we-
impactful this is?
Sure, we heard about it, but honestly, I didn't really. I think neither of us really understood like a lot about it until we got to tour it, which was very exciting to hear just the history behind all that's happened, and like when it started off in the Ryman, and then like how it moved here, and just like how many people have walked across that stage and that circle, and so it's really an honor to just like be a part of that history for a short moment. So yeah, we're excited.
We often talk about the history of the Opry and its former homes because it started at National Life and Accident, the parent company,
right.
downtown at 7th and Union, and they quickly outgrew it because radio was brand new, and all of a sudden this live music stuff caught on, and it's like, what are we going to do? So they went to
cool.
the Belcourt Theater in Hillsborough Village, or Hillsborough Theater, some know it, and then went to Fatherland Street. Charlie and I laugh about the Dixie Tabernacle, which was...
It sounds so like, opulent and European, and and it was like a barn with dirt floors. It was a dump. And eventually burned to the ground.
And then we went to...
This is all true. Like the cows would be happy in there.
And speaking of everything in town being under construction,
Yeah.
War Memorial Auditorium was
Yeah.
our next stop.
Okay.
And apparently that was during a time, that good-natured riot reference I made earlier, apparently that's what's going on weekends down there, and they told us we had to leave. So we went to the Ryman Auditorium. They thought church was a good place for us to
That's
go.
true.
So we went to the
There you
Ryman
go.
in 1943 and came here in 1974.
Yeah.
So
That's so inspiring.
Yeah.
It's a long line. And tonight's going to be really cool. We've got Mandy Barnett that's going to be there. Don Schlitz, who wrote The Gambler.
I'm
Have you
excited
all
about
met
that.
Don yet?
Not met, but definitely heard
You'll
of.
definitely get to meet him tonight. Gary Mulder is going to be there. Cooper Allen, Susie Boggess, Sanctus Real, and Haley Witters. And then you all make your debut.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good time.
Heck yeah. Very excited.
Recount CMA Fest. Was it your first?
Yeah, our first proper. I think we came last year and just participated as fans because we are definitely both still music fans. And but this year it was crazy. We showed up and we drove here and just went straight to going whenever we got here. And we got to hang out with some of our friends that play music. We went and watched Brothers Osborne. We got to catch Dasha, and that was a lot of fun at the Sky Deck. Spent most of our time at the Sky Deck, I think. And then we played the Sky Deck the following day. We played Hard Rock, and then a lot of interviews, and press. And then we had a few days off, which we took to just like hang out with friends and meet with nice people. And then we're back at it today here, and we're gonna play the Opry tonight, and then head back home.
You know, I just realized bus living is going to be real easy for y'all.
Yeah, honestly, it's
Like
easier
that's
than living in a
you're
house.
like, oh,
Yeah.
the bus, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Do you have a bus yet?
No, we
Okay.
don't.
You're working out to it.
Actually, I think we'll have something in Europe. We'll have something like for that.
Yeah. 'Cause
It'll be
go ahead,
similar
Charlie,
there.
because I want to catch up on Europe.
Well, Kelly and I are only children, so we love talking about ourselves.
Sure.
But talking about yourselves constantly, is that one of the new adjustments to everything cool that's happening in your lives?
Yeah, I think it's just like kind of.
I mean, Wes seems very well adjusted talking about himself all the time. But
I think I talk a lot, and Wes is like, I'm cool with you talking a lot.
It works. It all works.
I remember when Gretchen Wilson blew up with Redneck Woman, and somebody asked her, because she could be off-putting at times in the early days, and you think, is she upset? Is she mad? Or whatever. And she goes, no, I'm just not used to talking about me all the time. I thought, that's an interesting,
So true.
interesting way to look at it. We'd love for you to play live this morning if you would.
Yeah, we've got a song for you.
And the album, by the way, Made to Wonder, Crowe Boys music, available wherever you get yours. It is there, brand new album.
The song is called Debris.
Crowe Boys music live from the Assembly Food Hall stage this morning. I felt an Everly Brothers, Phil and Don sort of thing going on with you.
Sure.
It's that blood harmony. It just
Yeah.
sounds so good.
I would urge you to go to either to the website or their YouTube page, because there's a video for Debris that is the third chapter in an ongoing story that you guys did with Bootstraps and then Bonfire, and this is the third. I love that whole concept. You're one of the first that I can remember doing that, but it's such a cool idea.
Yeah, we've been having fun with it. I know we really love just making stories, and we love first and foremost doing that through music. But it's been really cool to be able to kind of create these visual stories as well. And I think the hope and idea is to kind of create this space and to continue this story where people can maybe live through learning different things in life, through the stories that we write and tell, through these two brothers that go on adventures together.
Well, you said off the air a little earlier that you did not write for a particular genre of music when you started.
Sure.
And would folk be where you fall? Is that kind of what
I guess so. I mean, I still don't think we intentionally write, for any specific genre as much as we just these are the instruments that like we connect with, and this is just where things seem to like speak to us the most. But also, we really just love being able to be intimate with the people that come and listen to our music, and this is just such an intimate way to do it for us. And so it's just where we ended up landing. And we just
that's
love
kind of
it.
the core of that folk scene, isn't it? Yeah, what you
Europe
just
is going
described.
to love you guys because that is
Yeah.
the scene over there. They are a listening audience. And have you been before?
We haven't.
And you leave when?
In mid-August.
And where are you going?
All over the place.
All
That's
over
awesome.
Europe.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I know there's like Germany and France, and we're doing London, a lot of spots in the UK, Dublin, Ireland. We're doing a ton of places. I think we're going to spend about a month over there. So we have like 15, 16 shows.
Well, when you get to Paris, lay some of that Cajun French on them and see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm excited. Paris will be my birthday too. So, yeah.
that'd
It'll be a cool
awesome.
place to
Happy
spend my
birthday.
birthday.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's Osi, that's Wes, and they are the Crowe Boys. And they're with us on Coffee, Country, and Cody. Brand new album, Made to Wonder. Wherever you get your music, it's there. All the best, fellas.
Already gone too far.
Tommy Emmanuel, Michael Cleveland on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry, the stage made country music famous, celebrating 100 years of WSM Radio and the Grand Ole Opry.
Mm-hmm.
I was scanning last night, setting some sports stuff to tape, and got PBS, and there was a Tommy Emmanuel PBS special.
Oh,
I want to say he was
nice.
back in Australia, maybe. So I just record, yes.
Yes. My dad is the biggest Tommy Emmanuel fan that I know of.
Oh, is he really?
Oh, yeah. They met years ago when I was still doing Fox 17, and my dad was down one morning.
Good for him.
And he got to meet Tommy, and I think Tommy even signed one of his guitars. So, yeah, he's a huge Tommy fan. Love it so much. We got a lot to catch up with on all of our entertainment headlines, including Americana. I got to tell you, a big announcement is coming today. If you are interested, you can watch it live. And, of course, you love to watch a live announcement. All of the nominees will be announced today at noon for Americana Honors and Awards. You can find it on their YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, search out Americana Honors and Awards live today at noon. The nominees will be announced, and then we'll have it for you tomorrow. Again, that's happening this fall, but they like to put out the nominations early, and we wanted to let you know that that is happening. There is a Dolly documentary, y'all, and it's not what you think. This one is different. It's not necessarily about Dolly. It is about Dollywood and how it came to be. Pretty cool. If you've ever wondered how this theme park empire was born, this will answer all your questions. Video of Dolly on a bulldozer is all I needed to see today. There she is looking over the plans and the very beginning stages of it. Now, this actually started 1961. What was it called? Rebel Railroad?
Yeah.
Was the name
And
of
then
it.
Gold Rush Junction.
Then Gold Rush Junction, then it became Silver Dollar City, and then Dolly came in and it became Dollywood. There she is turning over some of the dirt. If you want to watch this, it's available on YouTube as well. It's all celebrating the 40th season of the park this season. So if you haven't been in a while and you want to feel a little nostalgic, you can watch that.
So I know she got the dozer started. Was she able to get the dozer stopped?
I don't know if there was anything in front of her or if they just left her in a wide open field. Do you know I used to drive that?
Oh, no kidding.
I had to learn how to drive the bulldozer and the backhoe, but mostly the bulldozer because my dad would get stuff stuck. Like he'd get the backhoe stuck and he'd say, Kelly, come pull me out. So I would have to get on the bulldozer and go over and pull him out. Yeah, I know.
for
You
you.
never knew. You
Good for
never
you.
knew.
Got the skill set, girl.
I got the skill set, just in case you were wondering.
Well, if the Fiat ever runs off the road, I know who to call.
You know who
Kelly,
to call.
come save me.
Come get me.
Kelly, have you got the bulldozer there close by?
Come on, bring it out. The Barbaras are flocking to Old Dominion concerts, and I think everybody's pretty excited about that. So Old Dominion announced their new album. It's coming out August 22nd, and it's called Barbara. And the cover is a lady under a hairdryer. She's got on her cat eye sunglasses, a cigarette in one hand, a fur coat. She's everything I aspire to be. This is what I've seen a glimpse of my future, and it looks very much like this.
Yeah, big bracelet.
Love it. Lots
Yeah.
of jewelry. So in true fashion, Old Dominion fans have been dressing like this, showing up to their concert. And that just makes me so very happy for them and the people who are dressed up.
Oh,
Matt
you know what?
Ramsey said, the Odies know how to have a good time. They inspire us to come up with new stuff. We've seen more than a few Barbaras each night. They're clearly up to the task.
We need to have Old Dominion at the Opry and have a Barbara's night.
Absolutely, we do. That's a brilliant idea.
4,400 people, including the men, dressed
Yes.
like Barbara.
August 22nd is when it comes out. So we'll look for a date in August.
Maybe
to
we
make it
can
happen.
convince Mandrell and Fairchild to come.
Oh, nice. There you go. The real Barbers, the OGs. Well, this is pretty cool. Luke Combs has had some pretty good success doing covers. You know, that fast car thing worked out for him okay.
It sure did.
So now he is taking on Teddy Swims and I Lose Control. Just a fun thing. He was just doodling around with his guitar, but he posted it. Take a listen.
Don't you know I lose control when you're not next to me? I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see?
Woo! mean, come on. We need them together on a stage doing this.
Don't you know Thomas Rhett is thinking, hey, buddy, stay in your own lane. I'm the Teddy Swims guy here.
Right.
You don't need to be covering Teddy. You go cover Ed Sheeran or somebody.
Kelly.
Teddy's mine.
Weren't they at Fenway together?
Yeah, they were. Well,
Or they're going to be. Maybe they're going to be.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, but it may did that get postponed? There were a bunch of shows that got postponed there because of the stage, I thought.
What we were talking about your conversation with Cody Johnson, who's co-hosting with Ashley McBride on the 26th when they re-air CMA Fest 3 hours, prime time, ABC. And Kelly said, hey, Cody, stay in your own lane.
I did.
That's what I do. I host. You sing. We play your records.
I said, what are you trying to do over here? Are you trying to steal my job? And he was like, no. He goes, this is way harder than I thought it was. And I'm like, yeah, tell me about it.
July 19th for Fenway Park.
Oh, okay, good. It's all coming up. All right, we got more next time on Entertainment Headlines.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Big fun on the Assembly Food Hall stage right here, right now. Our CMA-nominated singer-songwriter friend, longtime friend. He's a good man. He's a preacher's kid. He's got to be. Yeah. Ryan Larkins is here. You know how Charlie and Kelly, the only child thing with you guys?
Yes.
This morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, the Crowe Boys, their daddy grew up playing and singing in church all over. They traveled.
Right.
And then Ryan's daddy, who just won steel drivers tickets.
He
Tony
did,
didn't he?
yeah. But see, growing up in New England and Catholic, the preacher's kid thing, I just don't understand. It wasn't a thing. So
Totally different.
this is a new concept.
Right. It's so funny. I vividly remember this story quickly. That a priest in my hometown called my father regarding marriage counseling one time for a couple that he was dealing with. He said, I'm just curious, why would you call me? He goes, I've never been married. What do I know?
Very true.
That's great.
And you are accompanied this morning by something that is very near and dear to you, and you're bringing to the Opry on Thursday.
Yes, sir.
K9s for Warriors. It's PTSD Awareness Month. And we have veteran Tom and veteran David with them, you this morning. And with them, we have Titan and Doc.
Yeah, it was hard not to immediately greet the dogs first, y'all. I know you're probably used to that, though, aren't you?
Yes.
Just constantly being upstaged.
Yes. It's not about me.
Well, thank you guys for coming in. First of all, Ryan, how did you get involved with this program?
You know, I went to visit K9s for Warriors a few months ago in Ponte Vedra, Florida, and I just saw firsthand the great work that organization is doing for veterans. And I just thought, you know what, I have to do something. And my friend James Slater wrote this song, and I was like, that's the perfect song. And so we recorded it, released it, and I'm just hoping people will, go check out k9sforwarriors.org and see all the great work they're doing.
Well, Who Rescued Who is coming up. You're going to do that for us.
Yes,
but
sir.
You go to their website, and man, it is startling. The first thing you read, on average, 20 veterans take their own life each day, and roughly 1,000 dogs are euthanized. To date, we have paired more than 1,000 veterans with life-saving service dogs, and among them, our guests this morning. So, as part of PTSD Awareness Month, David, we'll start with you. Share your story, your backstory, please.
So, again, most of our stories are the same, just a little different. Believe it or not, my PTSD didn't come until about 10 years after coming home from a combat zone. And it was brought out by the work that I was doing in a civilian life in law enforcement and the death of my mother. And so a lot of people don't understand that. They think it's just a direct link from combat, and that it's a series of traumas that sometimes live with you that go unmitigated. Mm-hmm. And if, the longer you deal with that and go, it's going to come out. And so that's how mine came about. And being that, I was trying to protect my civilian career, myself, my family, and so I just hid it. And then finally, when I couldn't hide it anymore because it, came knocking at the door to tell everybody, I went through the regular stuff that the VA prescribes and does, which, not bashing them, but this doesn't work, mm-hmm. right? We want to advocate for ourselves. We want to be human again. Yeah. And I had a near dear family, Gold Star family, that said, hey, try K9s for Warriors. And that was it. Here we are today.
Where's home for you originally?
Jersey.
Okay.
And you got paired with Doc?
Yeah.
How long have you had Doc?
Almost 6.5 years now.
Or how long has Doc had you?
That's.
We know he's a star. It's just me. I'm secondary. Yeah, it's been about 6.5 years now. It's been an amazing ride.
And what was that pairing like? The minute that he had you and he was with you, what was that relief like?
I always say there's a picture floating around K9's the first time that I met him, and you see my eyes tearing up, and I don't remember the last time before then that I actually had cried. And so just to see that, even to this day, when I see that picture, it's like, wow, I had feelings again. I wasn't dead inside. So,
Where did you serve?
In Iraq in 2004 and 5.
Man. So, Tom?
Yes.
Your story, please, along with your friend Titan, which good call in Nashville, Tennessee, to name it all.
Well, not lately, but
And where are you from?
So I'm originally from Oregon, but now I'm a Tennessean by choice.
Okay.
And I served in the Army from 2001 to 2016 when I was medically retired, and served in Iraq 3 times. And being a medic, that was a challenging time for me. And like David was alluding to, those compound traumas that just stack and go unmitigated really are what affected me. You don't have time to deal with things. You don't have time to change your mindset when you're training to go back for another tour. And so I had struggles, and I tried all of the traditional treatments, therapies, and medications, and some days they helped more than others, but it wasn't a cure, and I needed something that was going to be a cure and give me my life back. You know, I stayed away from everything, and avoided my family, my friends, everybody. And finally a friend reached out and said, "You need a service dog." And I just laughed at him. I said, "I have a dog. It hasn't cured anything." But I gave it a shot, and I was connected with Canines for Warriors and paired with Titan. And in the last 2.5 years, it's just been a remarkable change for me. You know, I'm a husband that I need to be again, and that my wife deserves, and the father that my children deserve and need. And I've been able to be present in life. I'm looking forward to the future again, which was something that I hadn't done for a long time. And so it's been amazing.
David, do you have children?
Yes, I have 3.
Yeah?
Yep.
What are their ages?
Well, my oldest is 20. My next one will be 17, and then my youngest daughter is 8, and my stepdaughter is 9.
Well, you are forever young, man. You don't look old enough to have a 20-year-old.
I don't know how I don't have gray hairs. Maybe Doc really works more than I know he does. You know?
Yeah.
And you said 3 deployments. I'm just curious. When that second one rolls around and that third one, I've often wondered, I never had a chance to speak to anybody who's been in that situation about it. That had to be the most depressing thing in the world, or was it not? I mean, was your service as a patriot so strong that it didn't bother you? Because oh my goodness.
It's an interesting situation because I voluntarily signed up and I wanted to serve my country, so I'm happy to do that. And if it means going to a certain place, then that's what I'll do. I had hoped that if I went, maybe my children would get to avoid something. And that kind of was a driving factor for me. But every time you go back, you kind of wonder, like, are my chances any better this time? Or, you know, how's things going to work out? Luckily, I only walked away with invisible wounds. But that's also the hardest thing to deal with because people can't see them.
Well, and the fact that as a medic, you have somebody's life in your hands at that particular moment in time. You must have countless untold stories.
Absolutely. And most of them are untold, but, you know, it's a really important job.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody goes into that situation with 2 things in mind. There's the medic that's going to take care of me and my brothers and sisters beside me. And that's what drives people to do what they do.
Well, Ryan, that's just a couple examples of what you must have seen when you got down to Florida, to the home base for Canines for Warriors.
Yes, sir, absolutely. The stories just blew me away, and I'm just so thankful to be a part, just a small part of helping, you know, shine a light, raise awareness for this great organization.
Now, the cool part is you're going to do the song for us in just a little while, but you're also going to do it Thursday night at the Grand Ole Opry,
right.
And you guys will get to be on the Opry stage as well. And Doc and Titan will be with us too. So
Yes, they will.
Absolutely.
Well, trying to make a go as a singer-songwriter in this town, you may need to get a dog.
That's right. That's absolutely
You
right.
need a service dog. I was kidding him off the air earlier. I said, hey, it's Tuesday. Surely you've got 3 or 4 cuts by now, huh?
You're working on it.
Well, will you do us the favor, the great pleasure of hearing you sing this song live?
Yes, sir.
How sweet is that, huh? Who rescued who? Ryan Larkins on Coffee Country and Cody. To find out more, to fill out an application, to donate, it's all there on the website at caninesforwarriors.org. We'll continue after a break.
This is Coffee Country and Cody.
Canines for Warriors guests this morning. We have veteran Tom and veteran David, and we have Titan and Doc, respectively. And I was looking that Coach Sean Payton, when he was with the Saints, was nominated for the NFL Salute to Service Award for work he did with the Canines for Warriors program.
so cool.
And fundraising from supermodel Kate Upton and Justin Verlander, Major League Baseball great. They've all participated in this.
Well, and I'm sure that it takes a lot of time. We were talking about this off air, just the time and money that it takes for each one of the dogs to be trained. And there's like a year-long waiting list right now. So, of course, more awareness means more people can give. And I saw that there's a place where if you wanted to make a donation, you could do a one-time donation. You do a monthly donation, which is really easy to set it and forget it. And that way you know that you're making a contribution and helping. But just seeing both of these guys just be so calm and so relaxed, how are they going to react on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry? You said that Doc is already he likes to be in front of a crowd.
He's not afraid of a camera at all.
He knows that he's on camera and he's ready
He
for
knows
it.
it's all about him.
What about Titan? Is he pretty good with big crowds?
Titan's likely to just lay down.
So chill. Just lay in the circle, buddy. You get out there. That's perfect.
Are they both? They both have lab in them, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Or does that tend to be the breed of dog that works the best? Because I think we've seen that in shepherds, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think just historically in all domains of dog raising and whatever jobs they do, there's some part lab in most of them.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's so fun. So are they fun to take to the lake? Does he like to get in the water very
This
much?
guy loves the water.
He does, I figured.
Yeah, Titan loves it. Although I can't get in also because he'll try to save me.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
That is a battle buddy right there.
We tried that, and I was standing on the bottom of the lake, and he's grabbing my arm, trying to pull me out.
Oh,
So
that's a good boy. Oh, so great.
You said you had a dog when they suggested you get a service dog.
did.
So do they coexist pretty well?
well, unfortunately, the dog I had is no longer with us.
Ah, okay.
She was older.
Okay.
But I do have another dog at home that they coexist. And Titan does great. He loves to play when it's playtime. But we haven't run into any issues. Titan even likes our cats.
Oh, really?
They don't always like him, but that's a different
feels right.
story.
Yeah.
So why do you think it works as well as it does universally? Because Tom, even you said, yeah, well, I got a dog. This ain't gonna make a difference, and it's made all the difference in the world. What do you think it is?
Sure. I think for me, it's how in tune Titan is with me and recognizing if I'm going through a tough time or starting to get anxious, he can really provide that calming effect for me. One of the commands that they're taught is my lap, where they do deep pressure therapy by placing their paws on your legs, which kind of helps regulate you. And so between the training and just the dog's intuitiveness, it's remarkable how much of a difference it makes.
David?
It's the unconditional love that allows us to be vulnerable. And I think when the dog senses that disposition, they just give everything back to us. And just like you said, you team that up with the training, and there's your secret sauce.
Yeah. Well, dogs in general just read emotions so well, and the fact that these guys are trained to do it is even heightens it to the next level, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what do you do, each one of you, please, if you would, professionally, outside of your military service? What are your careers?
I had a career in public service for about 18 years. I was a fireman and a law enforcement officer. That went down the drain after PTSD came out, but it opened up the door to this. Now I'm a volunteer, just veteran advocate in every space that I could kind of go into, and that's my passion. So.
Well, you said to Kelly off the air when she asked about what it was going to be like on the stage at the Opry with a house full of people, 4,400 folks in there, and you're like, no, I've done a lot of this.
Doc has got me into some pretty cool places and opened some amazing doors. I will say that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And how about you?
For me, my first job is I'm a stay-at-home dad, which...
That's a lot. That's
yeah,
a lot to take
I question
on.
my decision now. My kids are older, but they still need help with things.
How old are they?
So my oldest is 25, and then we have a 19-year-old and a 15-year-old, and they're all at home, all trying to figure out what to do with their lives, and also need rides to places and money to do things. So luckily, my wife supports us. But then I'm also a student, so I'm studying to become a high school history teacher.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's like where I found new hope and want to do something where I can connect with people again and hopefully help and mentor the future of America.
You don't want to move to Nashville and be a singer-songwriter?
Well, I thought about it, and then I...
And you met Ryan.
No. I think they need more teachers than more singers and songwriters.
That's probably true.
Ryan, before we wrap up and close with the painter that you had such success with Cody Johnson, catch us up on what CMA week was like for you and what's ahead over the next, other than the Opry on Thursday in your career.
Yes, sir. I mean, CMA week was incredible. It was busy, had a bunch of shows, met a lot of fans and friends that were in town. And after the Opry, I'm going to be playing a couple shows in Park City, Utah for the Bluebird. It's at Sundance. It's going to be incredible.
Never been, but all I hear are incredible things.
I'm so excited about that, and got some new music we're recording right now, and so a lot of good things are right around the corner.
When you said being busy at CMA Music Festival, the great Daryl McCall, Texas artist, once said to me, he said, Daryl, we want you to do this and this and this. Now, there's no pay, but it's good publicity. And
Right.
he said, I've raised a family on good publicity.
Right. That's
That
right.
is great.
Well, that's where we'll close. All the best. And Charlie will see you on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry on Thursday night, fellas.
Thank you.
K9s4Warriors.org. Applications, opportunities to donate, it's all there. K9s4Warriors.org.